My dear, you look exhausted. And no, not like the type of exhausted, like I just had a weekend whirlwind of a tour of the Amalfi Coast exhausted. You have that frantic type of wide eyed, buzzed out look of someone who's checking emails at 3 a.m. So today we're going to fix that. We're going to build some systems so you can step off of the stage and sit into the director's chair and finally maybe breathe. Let's start with that. The true measure of a business owner's sophistication isn't about how hard they work, it's how little they have to do. And if your business collapses the moment that you step out for a manicure or a merger meeting, you don't have a business, you have a very expensive job, a very high stressed, low security job where the boss, that's you, is a tyrant. That's not sexy. So we're aiming for the phantom presence. The machine runs, the clients are beautifully delighted, and things are ringing in your Stripe details, and you are separated. That's the goal. And the reason that that's the goal is because we need to understand that our highest thinking time really comes forward and begins to architect that next layer. I mean, you've built everything that you've built so far, and what's gotten you here is not going to get you to the next level. So we have to put a little bit of, let's just say, like maybe we just, I don't know, start like an autopsy. Okay. Because we have to look at what's actually going on. And I'm going to warn you, this is going to be horrifying because we don't think about this stuff. We are not taught about this stuff. And as a matter of fact, women have only been in this space for so long. And so what we want to do is actually understand where your time is actually going. For 3 days, I want you to track every single thing you do, every email, every quick call, every fire that you're putting out, and you'll find, well, really do this. Open up a Google spreadsheet, just document every 15 minutes, and it could be just shorthand for yourself. Well, you'll register what it is, but allow yourself to track it, because I will tell you that many of my clients, when they do this, they find that 80% of what they do is frankly beneath you. And you're the star of the picture, darling. So you shouldn't be sewing costumes and manufacturing the background while selling also the popcorn, right? We want to identify the chaos. We want to understand where it's coming from, but we have to look at it. So do not look away from that piece. That is the very first step. Now, this is where, once you get clear on what you're doing day in and day out, and you are crystal, darling, if it takes 3 days, fantastic. I had a client that did this for 45 days straight, and she found so much value in it. She kept on whittling her hours, whittling her hours, whittling her hours. She was recognizing, oh, I'm crafting this email. If I actually stabilize that draft, I can customize these pieces, and it drives down my time. Then she came to a place of, wait, I don't need to customize it. All of my conversations are recorded. I can hand this off to my assistant, know that there is a consistent piece here, and it's operational. Her assistant started to get a little bit sick. She had a virus or something like this. And she actually automated it completely later. So there are stages sometimes for people where it's one of those things that will allow you to see that you can do this in bite-sized pieces. But I find that, standard operating procedures, it sounds dry, and I get it. But it's really dry. A bank account, after it relies on you working on working yourself to the grave, truly. And a lot of us girlies do this, and we can't expect people to read your mind. It's rude to even ask them to try, but we want to document processes, whether the ways that you onboard a client, the ways that you send an invoice, the ways that you record a video, the ways that you structure your social media. Write a checklist. If it lives in your head, it's dead. And when we put it on paper and we make it, well, idiot proof, because bless their hearts, people are going to try, but they're going to get it wrong. right? So allow yourself to create some standard operating procedures. It's actually going to create a lot of peace in your world. The next thing that I would say is once you have the awareness of the time that that actor has, then you have the script that's going to run that play, right? Next thing is you want to hire actors, or in this like modern age of 2026, robots. Automate the mundane, darling. The invoices, the scheduling, the follow-ups. Let the software handle it. And it's far cheaper than having a person do it. And it doesn't complain about not having lunch breaks or being sick or the weather. And the rest, delegate. It does not have to give me like the nobody does it as well as I do speech. It does not have to give me that. Okay. That is truly just your ego talking, and it's expensive. If somebody can do it 80% as well as you, let them. Let them. You have bigger fish to fry, or, well, maybe champagne to drink. I actually rather the latter. But now I hear the gears turning in your head, and I appreciate this because you're probably thinking, that sounds marvelous, but it's also a lot of work. And you know what? You're right. Building a symphony out of noise is challenging. It requires precision. It requires foresight and a level of ruthlessness that most people don't possess. Now, you could spend the next 6 months tapping together somewhere on some software, hiring the wrong people and weeping over a flow chart on a Saturday night. But why would you when you could simply arrive? We specialize in the elegant. We build the systems, we train the cast, we hand you the keys to the queendom that runs like a Swiss watch. So you don't have to do all of this scrambling. We also don't do a hustle culture. We create this beautiful freedom, and no, it does not sound like the original ChatGPT, because a lot of people will say to me, Rebecca, automation will sound like a robot. And if you're ready to stop being the employee and start being the owner, then I'd encourage you to reach out. It's a link below. It's very discreet. It's not something that I'm going to do any sort of hard sales call or anything like that with you. But check your calendar, because I can't help you if you're too busy being busy. And start with that. Being able to have that point of clarity, being able to choose yourself richly is going to change your business for the better. And that I can guarantee.